This war is far from over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dragon Age Veilguard. Honest mistake. I'm trying to be objective about this. Or at least I did try, and then it failed miserably, but I tried. I promise I tried. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, because ultimately I don't want to play this game anymore, and I feel like it's going to take me a while to finish. So it'll be a while before we have a well-scripted and formatted review for you. Because, frankly, playing this game drains my will to live, and it'll take me a while to complete, I think, if I can finish it at all at this rate. With over 20 hours of playtime, a whole 20 hours that feels like a lifetime, I have precisely 3 positive things to say about Veilguard. 1, the environmental art team outdid themselves. It's a very pretty game in the background. Not the characters. The characters are cartoony and terrible animations. 2, the Griffin baby is cute. And 3, and this is the most important positive of the entire experience so far, it doesn't have de novo. Wink, wink. Nudge. Savvy. Anyway, lads, in light of all this, and the fact that the review is going to take quite a while, I instead wanted to upload my first impressions. My raw, unadulterated, unedited, unscripted first impressions. So, without further ado, here is a short highlight reel of my experience playing Dragon Age Veilguard for the first 10 to 20-ish hours, and it honestly mostly involves me pausing the game to rant about something that BioWare has done terribly, terribly wrong. Seriously, this game is the result of some unholy union that spawned from the freeway between God of War, Assassin's Creed, and Hogwarts Legacy. She disobeyed orders, leading the squad into the incursion and sealing the tunnel to the Deep Roads. This turned the tide and the Darkspawn were driven off, which saved the villagers. Rook's heroism was popular amongst the younger wardens, but others with connections to noble families resented her independent streak. I don't get to pick another option or, decide what... Okay, that's just me. That's just hero. Is that just Grey Warden, or expedition, barely surviving? Rook chose to return to the ruins, saving her teammates' lives, but losing the map. It was lauded for her bravery, but the maps caused some resentment amongst the Veil Jumpers. Don't tell me they're all the same. She sneaked directly into the camp, blah blah blah. These actions brought Rook to the Venatori's attention, and the Shadow Dragons decided to keep Rook out of sight. Rook killed a corrupt nobleman. Her actions were correct and saved the lives of the expedition members. What the fuck? Her actions were correct. You notice the repeating theme here for all of these backstories? But Rook's destruction of those undead nobles was controversial. Offending the nobility encouraged her to travel alone. What's the crows ones? They're assassins. I bet it's still the fact that she's a goody two-shoes. She chafed at the cautions of her commanders, and despite saving lives, however, Rook had unknowingly compromised a larger crow operation amidst the Yatam. Rook's superiors were incensed. So, in essence, basically every backstory is exactly the fucking same. You're a member of X faction, you do Y mission, you upset the authority figures, and because you know best, and because your choices were right, you leave. Because you're right and they're wrong. So therefore they're in the wrong. They'll realize it later. They'll realize it later that you were right because you're right and they're wrong. Seriously, every single backstory is just copy and pasted generic hero story of how the hero was a hero and everybody else was just corrupt ways, noble politicians, authority figures bad. Yeah. Seriously, there's an opportunity here to have done actual origin story vibes, where the first mission that you play in the game is the prologue, which introduces your character, and you build that character's personality based on the choices that you make in the prologue, and then move from there. There's none of that. The stories are meaningless, the backstories are meaningless, none of your choices matter, you're the good guy. You'll always be the good guy, and you can never be mean to anybody. I guarantee I can't be mean to anybody in this game.
Our best plan is to stop the Dreadwolf before he can perform his ritual.
Seriously, Varric sounds like he smoked 50 cigarettes. Is it just me, or what? The greatest test of any RPG, in my humble opinion, is how evil it allows you to be. And I have a feeling that Veilguard's not gonna let me be a dick.
Now!
Meet Bianca. She'd like you to stay a while.
This feels like fucking Hogwarts Legacy.
If Solus tears down the veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
I'm a mage. Why am I asking that fucking question? Why, when I loot things, why do they explode into a fucking, mobile game-esque? Don't ask questions, Saul. Don't ask questions. Oh, yeah, I forget. I can't control my companions anymore. They're just fucking abilities now, basically. Oh, my bad. I accidentally put Hogwarts Legacy footage into the video. That's an honest mistake. It's easy to confuse the two.
Interrupting a ritual of this scale will have consequences. Consequences.
Rook, take care of the team for me.
Yeah, he's gonna die. Varric is not surviving this game. I'm calling it now.
Bring down the scaffolding.
Can I ask why there's scaffolding involved? We're an ancient elven ruin, right? Why is there scaffolding? Did Solus fucking put up the scaffolding? He has magic. He's an elven god. Why is he putting up scaffolding? No? Am I the only one thinking this? Why is there scaffolding? Solus knows the consequences. You know, remember those consequences that we mentioned 5 seconds ago?
Consequences.
Solus surely knows the consequences of what would happen if the ritual failed. And you're telling me that despite the fact that he knows this, he just leaves one of the statues, like, easily pushable over? Like, the fuck? Pack it, really? That's it? Wait, what? A tiny piece of wood was all it took for Solus's plan to fall apart. Elven god, my ass. Barrett's gonna die. There it is. That was so blatantly fucking obvious. Jesus. Remember those consequences we were talking about like 5 minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen, huh? Oh look, blood in a Dragon Age game. Nice to finally see some blood in the fucking Dragon Age game. Like, that was the stupidest fucking plan I've ever seen. Varric was very clearly going to die. Take care of the team for me. I'm assuming Varric's either going to be sidelined for the entire thing. There's too many death flags here, ladies and gentlemen. Varric's gonna die.
But something else got out.
Someone else, supposedly. Elganon and Gillinane.
Two of the elven gods of old. The Evanuris.
Shit. If they're back in the world, that explains a lot.
That's a bit of a monotone reaction for a Dalish elf just learning that two of their gods are back in the world. They don't know that their gods are evil, do they?
Right. You get your friend back to your camp and...
Good luck, Rook. And thank you.
Who are you again? Fuck. Did I even introduce myself as Rook? Do I know these people? Who the fuck are they? Why do I care?
Okay, wait. I need a second.
No. The animations on the face. I swear Dragon Age Inquisition was never this bad, right?
That's a veil bubble.
A veil
It's separating
bubble?
us from the rest of the real world, so to speak. You can only pass through it one way.
Sorry, my face is tired.
Well then, let's get going.
Let's get going. Every now and again she becomes Welsh. Companion abilities, because who wants to actually control their companions? Instead they can just be spells. It feels like a tutorial almost. I'm hoping that this isn't the theme that they're sticking for the entire game, because this is very much handholdy of, I know God of War did a similar thing with every puzzle was like, why don't you do this thing over here? Why don't you do this thing over here? Oh, this looks interesting. This looks interesting. Oh, look, a cave. I'm like, calm down, NPCs. I don't need you to hold my hand constantly.
Darkspawn.
That's a darkspawn? That's a darkspawn. Okay.
The wall looks weak here. I bet we could... More darkspawn, right where you broke that wall.
I can fucking see that. Gee, guys, I think there's more darkspawn where we broke that wall. Fucking hell. Also, I'm a Grey Warden. Shouldn't I have sensed these darkspawn being a thing? Like, considering the fact that we're not supposed to expect darkspawn to be here, I'm a Grey Warden. I should be able to sense these darkspawn long before we see them. But at no point did my character go, huh, I sense darkspawn, that's weird. I'm pushing myself to keep playing, because it has to get better, right? This is like the tutorial or something. Okay? I feel like I wouldn't have so many moments where I paused the game and rant if it wasn't a Dragon Age game. If it wasn't a Dragon Age game and it was just a brand new IP, none of this would be a problem, because I'd just be like, okay, this is normal in this game, I guess. I mean, it's still, I wouldn't be impressed, but at least I wouldn't be pausing every 2 seconds to rant. It's Hogwarts Legacy. It's Hogwarts Legacy combat, which was fine. Hogwarts Legacy's combat was fine. I don't necessarily feel like that's very Dragon Age, but, you know. And this is
Looks
just
like
straight up God of War. Like, boom.
Then let's go find one.
Who sat down? I mean, I know exactly why. Because the artistic style, or I should say the autistic style, was literally built around... Originally, this was supposed to be a mobile game-esque fucking live service, short story, always online thing. This is why the UI looks like it's out of a mobile game. This is why all the art style looks cartoony as hell. And you've got the director of Mass Effect, the guy working on the new Mass Effect, coming out on Twitter to reassure people. Like, it's so bad that the director of Mass Effect has to go, yeah, we're not going that direction, guys. Don't panic, please.
Ogre! That's an ogre!
Thank God she told me what it was, because it doesn't look like anything I've fucking seen before. Ultimate ability. I have an ultimate ability. So does Hogwarts Legacy!
I dare say it was a show of force.
Come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey. What say you,
Look how they massacred my boy.
Such a shame. What?
Play to our strengths.
And rely on each other.
How exceedingly gay. Seriously, the Origins companions never needed a fucking pep talk like this.
Centuries ago, the Magisters of Tevinter opened my prison. A tiny fragment of the Blight escaped. That fragment grew beneath the earth and led to the blights that have swept across the world.
Okay, so centuries ago, they broke into not the Golden City of the Maker, but actually the prison of the Elven gods, and they accidentally leaked out some blight. Not the Maker's punishment to man for their sins, but actually just elven STDs that they escaped with.
The gods are corrupt magic personified. Who do we hire to fight that? First, the Antivan Crows.
What? Who wrote this shit? They're corrupt magic. Who do we hire first? Ah, assassin. What? Why? Why would we do that? Why do we need assassins to corrupt magic?
You want to fight gods with assassins?
Thank you. Someone pointed out the stupidity of this. Previously fought dead gods have returned to Thedas, and they are utilizing the blight and seek to spread it everywhere. Who do we go to first? Ah, some mage rebels that free slaves, and some assassins in Antiva. The Grey Wardens, you say? Who? No? What? Never heard of them. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll take a break. Maybe. Just for a couple of hours or something. Or maybe like a whole day. I need a break. I don't have the willpower. It's draining. I don't want to play. I literally don't want to. I'm so... There's just so much stuff that's wrong that I can't even continue right now. Seriously, this combat is just fucking Hogwarts Legacy, man.
It's unstable.
I don't want to be here. And if I force myself to be here, the experience is just going to be even worse. So, we're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. I'm probably just going to come back to this tomorrow because, yeah, I just don't care. I just don't care. Honestly, lads, the only reason that I'm soldiering through this, other than to do something for the channel, is that I want to see the Grey Warden stuff. And even though I fear that they're going to butcher it entirely, because they haven't done Grey Wardens justice since fucking... yeah, Dragon Age 2 was fine, the Wardens. Very briefly that they were even involved, but... Dragon Age Inquisition made them a joke, so I have no faith that Veilguard will do them any justice at all. Is the first Warden actually just randomly come to Menrapos to the fucking slums to come talk to me? Finally, some Warden content. Do not disappoint me, please.
I am Jowin Glastrom, First Warden and Supreme Commander of Weisshaupt. I received word of your team's request for Grey Warden assistance after an incursion of the Blight at Demeter's Crossing.
Oh, we did actually send help. Okay. Why would he come himself?
Explain yourself, Warden. And bear in mind that the Order remembers your past recklessness.
I mean, it was reckless. I disobeyed orders and thought I knew better than my commanders. In war, that gets people killed. Wardens are all about sacrifice and doing whatever is necessary. Admittedly, the Wardens from Weisshaupt are, stuck-up bastards usually, but still, of course, so.
Sure, I disobeyed orders. I acted on my own choices without authority. I admit it. But I took an oath to defend people.
Oh, come on. No, that's not the response I wanted at all. Of course, sir. Yes, I wanted to be, show obedience. Like, he outranks me. I'm in the military order. But rather than that, I get all of my options are just fuck you, and fuck you, to differing degrees of I'm right, you're wrong. Oh, authority bad, everyone in charge bad. Oh, we're right, they're wrong. Oh, we saved people, the people in charge are meanies. Yeah, so much for sacrifice and doing whatever it takes and following command and respecting, you know, your chain of command and all that. Nah, none of that. None of that. Warden's bad. Me smart. Me new recruit. Me big brain. Me save people.
I uphold that oath any way I can.
The oath is not to defend people from the Blight necessarily, it's to defeat the Blight and stop the Darkspawn.
Your report, Warden.
I was part of a team trying to stop an elven mage named Solus from destroying the Veil.
I did not come here to listen to fairy tales. I am here because of the Blight.
Oh, for the Lord. See, look, again, this is all one problem. Hang on, it gets worse. This is real. Like, I'll pick that option.
It's no fairy tale. When we stopped Solus, something got out. Point is that the gods are making the Blight worse.
Okay, so you know who this dude is, right? You know that he's a bit stuck up and a bit, you know, pompous and high-mighty, because he basically rules the entire Anderfels, which makes no fucking sense why he'd come here himself. The point is, you know who this dude is. You know how he acts. Rather than doubling down on the whole gods thing, because he clearly doesn't believe it and isn't going to believe it no matter what you say. He's just going to dismiss you as a child. So why not simply phrase it as they call themselves gods, but what they really are is extremely powerful blood mages that are blighted, and they're using blood magic to control the Darkspawn and spread the blight. You can't argue with that. Dismiss the god thing, don't insist on it like a spoiled child. Read the fucking room and address the situation in a way that the guy's gonna actually fucking grasp and understand. Because I guarantee they're gonna say all of this, and now he's just gonna dismiss it as, they're not gods, you're full of shit.
It is clear that whatever you did to unleash the Blight has corrupted your already weak mind.
See? Told you so.
Okay, wait.
You will be taken to Weisshaupt and placed under heavy guard until the danger you caused by unleashing the Blight passes.
I don't want to be. I'm right, you're wrong. You've phrased this in such a way that, like, seriously, you've dealt with this dude before. I don't know what any of these options are actually gonna be. Like, please listen to me. Just listen, you idiot. Isn't gonna get us anywhere. Think again, being defiant isn't gonna get us anywhere. I don't want to play into the Warden's bad fucking narrative that we're just having shoved down my throat.
No, please, you can't do that.
I assure you, I can.
Yeah, he can. Of course he fucking can. Don't say please don't do that. The fucking prompt was please listen to me. Plead your case in a way that doesn't make you sound fucking retarded. Jesus fucking Christ.
The gods are doing something with the Blight.
Stop calling them gods. He doesn't believe you. He's never going to believe you.
And we will do so without a disgraced junior warden causing needless confusion.
They are crazy, extremely powerful blood mages, which believe themselves gods, but clearly aren't, ha ha ha. But they're controlling the Blight. They're doing something and experimenting with Darkspawn. They're spreading it throughout the city. They're a threat to Thedas. Throw in they're trying to search for archdemons and release a new Blight or some bullshit. Make up a fucking story. Anything that you could easily convince this dude. But no, we have to go, the Elven Gods. The Elven Gods. The Elven Gods. Despite how many times he clearly doesn't fucking believe you. Jesus Christ, I could rant about this for hours. This is so fucking bad. I knew they were going to do this. I knew they were going to ruin the Wardens. Again.
I suggest you come along quietly.
Adamant Fortress 941 Dragon.
Dorian.
Stay away from the Blight, and do not pester the Grey Wardens with any more of your nonsense.
Again, why the hell did he have to come all the way to Minrathos to just do that? He's the first Warden of Weisshaupt, ladies and gentlemen. This, for those of you who don't know, is in the Anderfels. Basically the kingdom to the far left of Minrathos. It's a deserted, blighted shithole. And effectively, the Wardens basically rule the place. They're not technically, on paper, it's the royal family that rule the place, but they're basically pretty much useless. So they all looked to the Wardens for guidance and leadership. This has resulted in Weisshaupt becoming extremely arrogant and entitled, and playing at nobles rather than being Wardens necessarily. So I'm not too annoyed with the whole arrogant thing. That's pretty much, stuck up, I'm holier than thou, I'm in charge, fuck you attitude that I'd expect from the first Warden. That's in character, that's fine. But Jesus Christ, the way you interact with the dude. He clearly doesn't believe in the Elden God nonsense, so why continue to spin the narrative and just every dialogue option is, I'm right, you're wrong, you have to listen. And I can't, there's no other option. There is no other option. The game is just forcing a narrative down my fucking throat. Fuck me.
He seems upset. Was it something I said?
It feels like I'm starting at Ostagar rather than starting at the prologue of my character. There is no prologue. Fuck the prologue. You're just immediately at Ostagar. Yeah, your family's dead. Hal's betrayed you. The Darkspawn are here. Go fight them. Oh look, King Caitlin's dead. Everyone's dead. Yeah, you're a warden. Go gather everything. Go on, quickly. Go fast travel to the locations to gather everything. It feels like someone's just pushing me constantly. Go on. Don't look at anything. Just keep going. Just keep fucking going. Don't pay attention too much. Like, you know, it's so rushed. It feels rushed. It feels so fucking heavily rushed, which makes sense because the entire development cycle was a living fucking hell. So it kind of makes sense that it feels like a rushed mess, because it is a rushed mess.
I'll be damned. A griffin.
Okay, that's adorable. I can't knock that. That is adorable.
Trouble is, he's not sure what you are. Neither am I.
What do you mean he's not sure? Neither you. Grey Wardens can sense each other. You'd know immediately that I'm a warden.
Easy. I'm a warden too.
Oh, there's another one. How many fucking griffins do you have? There's no way I don't get a griffin. I swear to shit. If they give me a griffin, I will change my tune about this game. I just want a griffin. Just give me something cool. So far, basically, I can sum up Veilguard as being a mediocre action game with pretty repetitive God of War, Hogwarts Legacy combat that's pretty boring. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just default, unimaginative hack and slash fucking action combat, basically. It's God of War and Harry Potter. The writing is cartoony. The characters look really cartoony and kind of cringe. The story's pretty fucking mediocre so far. The decisions, air quotes, are the illusion of choice. Nothing you say really matters. The narrative is basically pre-decided and forced down your throat. You can't really decide who your character is or what they want to do. None of it particularly matters. You get teleported from point A to point B throughout quests. It feels like you're getting thrown into the fire immediately with no build-up to anything. I don't really care about any of the characters or really feel invested in any of the story. It feels extremely rushed. The only good things so far that stand out is the environment looks really pretty. Like, the world itself looks very pretty to look at, and the griffins are cute. And that's it. This isn't a Dragon Age game, that's the thing. It boils down to, this isn't a Dragon Age game, it's a mediocre RPG. It's not even an RPG, really. There's not very much in the way of fucking character design or choices. You're pretty much just deciding between pre-existing fucking shit. It's as much of an RPG as Fallout 4 was an RPG, which is to say, not much at all.
She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
That's such a fucking lazy-ass cop-out that I've ever fucking heard. Okay, guys, we need to acknowledge the Inquisition happened. How do we do that? Oh, we assure them that the Inquisitor is definitely doing things down south, and it's very important stuff. Are we going to give details? No. The south is in turmoil, though, trust me. Basically, I'm willing to bet, like, the choices for any of this crap is pretty much the endings are going to be dependent on how strong each of these factions are. Which basically just means, oh, the more side quests you do, the better ending you're gonna get. If I had to guess, that's probably what that sums up to. The big major downside to this system is essentially that my choices aren't necessarily making the factions stronger based on my, like, character decisions or dialogue. You're running around the place doing side objectives in an MMO, and that increases the faction power, which then changes the outcomes of certain, like, endgame stuff, I wager. Basically exactly the same thing that Mass Effect 3 did with the war score system that affected the end battle against the Reapers. What?
The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanese.
Right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their...
Okay. Fuck off, you bastard. So, why did Flemeth send Morrigan to purify the soul of an old god and, like, preserve it? Why was it important? Considering the fact that Flemeth had Mafal's spirit and has it, she'd know that they aren't old gods, so why would she care about preserving its soul? If they're just dragons, then what's the fucking why is it important? And how quickly she accepts it. The warden, the Grey Warden, just goes, all right, hearing that the archdemons aren't archdemons and they're just elf weapons. Fucking hell. Okay, so the Darkspawn sought out the archdemons because the song was basically the last remnants of the elven powers, and then through the conduit of thing, they broke out to destroy everything. Every mystery in the world is just the elves. Is the Maker also the elves? Like, the Maker's the elves. Everything is the elves. Fucking like every event that's ever happened is just the elves. Yeah, the elves did it. Yeah, the elves did it. It's all the elves did. Fuck it. He's not gonna listen to the Risen. At this point, there's no. I don't trust talk sense. He's not gonna work. Knock him the fuck out.
Can't say I didn't try.
No! Listen to Rook. That's an order.
Who the fuck is she? Like, who's she giving orders? That's an order.
Could we shoot the dragon with that?
It's not a dragon. And it takes more than a ballista to kill one.
That's a good reference, actually. It takes more than a ballista to kill one. That's a good reference. Because the way the way you cheesed the archdemon fight in Origins was just spamming a ballista bolt at it over and over again. Now, see, this is pretty cool. This is probably the coolest moment in the mission. Okay. Of the entire game. This is easily the coolest thing in the entire game so far.
There, the bell tower ahead.
The dragon's gonna fuck it. Yeah, there it is. Could have told you that was gonna happen, buddy. Maybe don't advertise to the fucking giant dragon exactly where you are.
And now, I die.
This is honestly the coolest part of the entire game so far, which isn't saying much because it's the only part of the game that's been cool so far. And it's kind of immediately ruined because there's this big dragon, it's the archdemon, it's huge, and now it's dead. That's it. It's just, the dragon's immediately dead, and then you fight fucking worms.
I feel like a blade sharpened all these years to confront the worst darkness in the world.
This is a really weird rant. My purpose is gone. Your purpose was to defeat an archdemon? Buddy, you could go centuries without an archdemon happening. The odds of it happening again in his lifetime were fucking minuscule. So his entire life's purpose is to slay an archdemon, which probably, realistically, was never going to happen. Whining about fucking... This is stupid.
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
This is the main quest line. I'm being forced to interact with this character.
Forget it or dig into it. Whatever you have to do.
Friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman.
I had literally no choice but to do that. It wouldn't let me inside to actually do anything else. It forced me to do that conversation. Thank you very much for that game. Awkward as fuck. That's all for now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll wrap this up here. Ultimately, I wanted to give you guys my first impressions, just unedited, unfiltered. This is straight up my immediate response to seeing things in the game, without having watched anybody else on YouTube, without having read anybody else's opinions. This is 100% just my reactions. And ultimately, I can confidently sum up my current opinion as meh. If we took away the Dragon Age IP, this would be considered a mediocre action fantasy game. It would fizzle out and nobody would really ever talk about it again. The story is boring, some of the writing is extremely cringe, the companions are uninteresting and feel forced and rushed upon you. Your character, Rook, is basically a pre-printed, predetermined character with you have no real control over. All of your dialogue choices are different variations of the response yes and I agree or I support you. That's your RPG choice in this video game is yes, yes please, and oh okay then. I can basically compare the choices made in this game to a Telltale game, or more accurately perhaps Fallout 4 levels of dialogue choice. I'd say Mass Effect, but I think that does a disservice to Mass Effect because at least Commander Shepard was a character we all actually felt some connection to, where Rook is just a copy and pasted hero character from generic fantasy title. At the end of the day, none of your choices matter, it's the illusion of choice, and as far as I can tell, the ending of the game is going to basically be decided by how many side quests you've done, and if you've done your companion's loyalty missions. If I had to sum up Veilguard so far, at least, and I highly doubt my opinion's going to change in the full review once I've finished the entire game, if I had to sum it up, I'd call it painfully mediocre. At best, painfully mediocre.
war is far from over.